3 is a part, and today I am doing something a little different. We're doing a face-to-face intro because today's video was actually requested by a commenter. So exciting! So the commenter with the username Jaku, or maybe Yaku. So sorry. Please tell me how to correctly pronounce your name. I don't want to butcher it anymore. So their comment was, "Hi, I'm going to boarding school next academic year for 2 years, and I was really wondering what the best journal setup would be for that. I don't want something too extravagant because I'm still a little unsure how much time I'll get to actually plan ahead, and something preferably cheap so I don't spend too much money on stationery and stickers, etc. In addition, I would like to have an area where I can write down thoughts on the school day without using up too much space. I've got a traveler's journal in a 6.7 inch size by 3.74 inch size that holds up to 3 book inserts, which I have a tip for later on how to add even more inserts if you want to, if you choose to do so, which I haven't touched and would like to use, but if it's too small, I have other planners I can get my hands on. I'm not quite sure where to start. This will be my first real journal slash planner. So first of all, congratulations on getting into boarding school and going to boarding school. That's so exciting! Yay! And second of all, welcome to the planner community. You are very welcomed in this realm of productivity and warmth and all that fun, inspirational things that I hope that you probably can get by now. So I decided to create my very own traveler's notebook in the size similar to the size that you have. It's actually, I looked it up, the size you have is basically pretty much a personal size planner in traveler's notebook and regular size. So I made my own personal size paper dory to test out because I didn't have it myself, but I've always wondered about that size. I have a ring version, but not a traveler's notebook version. It was really interesting, so you'll see all that later. So my first tip for you is just to start planning. There's a saying that is, "Failing to plan is planning to fail," by Alan Laker. By Alan L. So this is the personal traveler's notebook that I made. It's made of paper and laminated pouches. All I did was laminate it, fold it in half after measuring it. So a personal size traveler's notebook is 6.75 by 3.75 inches, which is roughly the same size as the one in the comment, so that's why I chose to go with this. And I don't have one for myself, so it was really cool to make it and really easy to make so that I can test out the size for myself as well. So I'm just going to jump straight into the inserts. So the first one is what I call my monthly insert. I also made this insert myself. It's really easy just to fold paper in half. As you can see, I didn't even bind it at all because the elastics I find are just enough. Sometimes if you want to secure it a little better, you can just add some staples to it. Really easy peasy. So for this one, I'm going to put obviously the months in it, oops, as well as more permanent or long-term information, which you will see in just a second. So the first page is an index, so if you need to go back and look at old information for an assignment and so on and so forth, you can just go straight to the index. The first page I have is a semester schedule. Now, a tip that I'm going to give you is to color code your schedule or your entire planner itself. You can color code it by subject or class or by time or whatever. I chose to do it by class / subject. I have 5 right here. Do as many as you need to, but I think having a semester schedule here is especially helpful for the beginning of the year when you don't know where you need to go, or if we have a different schedule each day, like A days and B days. I know some high schools do that. My high school was like that. Is this a nice schedule though? This isn't my real schedule, obviously. I'm not in school anymore, but I just made it up. Like my dream schedule, I guess. If you're curious, I have theater, art, calculus, physics, and history. Those are just, I think, the general ones, not including language arts and all that stuff. So moving on to the next page. Oh, you can also, of course, add more than one semester. I just chose to do the first semester because you might change your mind and try to transfer into another class in the second semester. Just depends all on you. So the next page is instructor's info. But I found it was nice to have a teacher or a teacher's aide or a counselor or any other advisor in your life that you might need to contact throughout the year. So you can color code it again. So this might be my theater teacher, calculus teacher, history teacher, maybe this is like a librarian or something. But I just have their name, email, room or location, as well as office hours. So this is what I'm talking about, long-term information that you would use all year long, and the great thing about a traveler's notebook rather than having a single planner is that if you're done with it for the year, but you still are done with the planner itself, but you still have the rest of the year to go, then you can just take this insert out and put it into the next setup. So the next page is a grades tracker. I found that it was a really cool idea. Of course, I will leave all the inspiration I got down below. So, if you can't tell, this is a bullet journal style because I find it, if it doesn't work for you, then it's really easy just to turn the page and change the layout. The grades tracker. I did two different styles. You can do a list or you can do a line graph. The list would have the date, assignment, the grade, or point system, as well as percentage, so that you can see where you are at in the class and what you need to do to get to where you want to be in the class. As you can even write down like what percent adds up to your grade. Like maybe attendance is like 5%, but tests are like, I don't know, 25%. So the line graph is one that I love personally because I'm a visual person, and seeing it like this really helps me to understand where I'm at with each class and what I'm good at. So on the bottom I just have it by week, like week 1, week 2, week 3. You could do it bi-weekly, you could even do it perhaps by assignment as well. Then here on the, oh my gosh, what is this, y-axis, hello, I did pass math class. The y-axis I did just percentages from 0% all the way to 100. You can obviously do more than 100 and like maybe like 35 to over 100, because I mean if you're under 35% then it's not good, so maybe not even include it. And then again I kept with the same color coding system so I know where I am in each class at one point in time, which is very helpful to me. Next is where I have the future log. So I printed these out from wonderful.com, which is linked down below as well. I decided to print it out because the grid size is much bigger would make the calendar much bigger than these ones. And since this is a small calendar, I tried to condense it. This is a free printable, by the way. Oh, speaking of free printables, we recently just released these 2018 printables. If you're getting little labels here and everything. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and print that out for you on our blog, which is also linked down below. So there's two main styles to feature logs that I found the easiest and the fastest to create, which is why Ryder Carroll, the inventor, creator of bullet journaling, did these two. But I've seen really cool ones out there, so if you have time, you can get as creative as you want to. But there's this horizontal style where you have the calendar on one side and you have the events and whatnot on the other side. I personally like the vertical side because I feel like there's a lot more space. Although it does, of course, take up more space. But I found for school especially, when you get your syllabus for each class, they generally have the dates for each test and major events. So writing it down before it comes will help you plan out better. So again, I went with the same color coding system so that everything is cohesive and your brain instantly clicks this color with this class and whatnot. I just did a little dot and I did what each one stands for. I found this to be the most helpful out of, like, this is a must-have for me if you're going to do a school, because for school you need to plan ahead for several months. So, but you don't want to write it out the several months because you don't know how busy you are until maybe a month before. So this will help you give a better idea of how to set up your planner when that time comes. So now we can move on into the monthlies, which is the main portion of this insert. So this is the first layouts that I've created. You've got just the main calendar, standard calendar style here. When I reserved this for deadlines and projects and stuff like that, so that I know how much time or how many days I have until that project is due. Whereas I put the list of the dates this side to keep events like birthdays, meetings, a pep rally. I got a party here. I got callbacks. Oh, for the Peter and the Starcatcher auditions callbacks. Let me know down below if you love that play as well. So just below the calendar I have a section for tasks, monthly tasks and goals, as well as if you're, depending if where you are with your money or whatever, then I have a budget. You can also add like maybe a sleep tracker here. I think that's a good idea for students. If you don't know, teenagers need as much sleep as babies. I read that somewhere. Don't remember where, but I read it somewhere, which I believe fully. You can disagree, that's totally fine. Moving on, this is a second setup I have of a monthly spread for you. This is what I'm saying when you can just turn the page and say maybe this month you don't have as much to do, so you don't have to write as much as this side, but you do have maybe you don't have as much things to track either. But I do have the tasks and goals down here, which you can switch up to trackers or budgeting or lists, whatever you would like. So this is just your typical standard calendar layout. I always start my calendars and planners on Mondays because I like to bunch the weekends together. Because this, for me, a new productive week starts on a Monday. I kept the same month instead of going from July to August because I wanted you to be able to see how I would set up, like how it would look with the same month, the same plans, just in a different style, so you could see if that might work for you. Party on the 7th, don't forget the party on the 7th. And then this is another one. I saw this, I don't know who created it, but I saw it on the Pinterest. So I have the days of the week coordinating with the weekday on the side, and then I have it split up into morning, noon, and night. You could just have it by like day and night, because daytime would be school stuff and nighttime would be when you're studying or other events. And I have goals, and then right here I have an exercise tracker. So that's all I have here in this insert for examples. Of course, you would continue on for your monthlies and so on and so forth. That's the first insert. The next insert is a weekly insert. So this is one that you would look at the most out of the three. Like every day you would look in this insert, whereas this one you look at it maybe a couple times a week. You can look at it every day if you want to, of course. I mean, it has that information in there in the beginning. First I have is a bullet journal key, which I just decorated with some washi tape. It's not necessary, of course. I just decided to tape it in just in case you want to change it up, because this might not work for you and you might need to add more or change the symbols or make it smaller, whatever you'd like. I also have a color key. It's the same color key throughout the monthly one for all of the classes and subjects. So just going straight into the week, I have an example. So when you're setting your planner up, you would just it's really easy to take an insert out and put it next to each other. So it's easy to look at everything at the same time when you're planning. So this is July 2nd to the 8th. So here through here. Just that here through here. So I try to make everything the same plan for you. As you can see, this is a lot more writing in it than this side because this is a more detailed insert where you have room to write everything you need to do, all the tasks and all the other stuff. So this is kind of like the Midori Traveler's Notebook Company style inserts for the weeklies, where they have all 7 weekdays in horizontal style on the left side and then an overview or whatever you want on the right side. Of course, you could leave this blank like them, or you could structure it out like this. So I've also seen some people not include Sunday or even Saturday at all because generally they don't have school on the weekends. I like to include it because I like to track what I like to do every day and how I'm spending the time. So for this example, I have the events and the deadlines as well as a little bit of weather icons to doodle out. This is coordinating with days of the week, these boxes here, and I wrote it could be a mood, or this could be what's due instead, and this could be the journaling side, or this could be the journaling side, or your study routine, or each day you're going to study this, this, and this, and so on and so forth. Here is the to-do section following the key. So the triangles are events, so I would look at the triangles first and also check through my tasks. You can also jot down notes here as well throughout the week. I just have this little box. It could be anything you want. I just put next week just in case you plan every week. And you can write down things that you learn throughout the week which you have to add to next week, but you don't have the time or the room to put it in your monthly, just in case you don't. Or if it's just easier to write it down here, whichever works for you. So the next page is a vertical style where I have 6 columns. Weekend is split into 2 because at least I wasn't doing anything on the weekends when I was a student. Or you have a dance or something and this was your study day. A rest day. I have a rest day here. So even if your planner has pre-made boxes because you bought the planner instead of drawing it out yourself, you can still split up the boxes horizontal or vertical to make it to separate them to have like a personal and school or something like that. So here I have a little section to write about my day, and this would be my assignments and other tasks. Here I have a study log, which I think is a nice addition, and it really helps you see how much you actually study for a test or something like that. And then you can look back and see in your grades tracker to see how well you did on that test comparison to how much you studied for it and when you studied for it. Like, I know some people, like myself, I tend to study more like the night before rather than a couple times, like every day for like 10 minutes a day. I just do it all in like 2 hours, which is not the best, but apparently it worked for me. And right here I have a little goal section again, which of course you can change to anything you want, and I had some space here, so I just wrote, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. I just like having a quote every week. I am so a quotes person. You can't tell. So this is a more simplistic, standard, minimalist style of a weekly. It's also vertical, but in bigger boxes. Like, sometimes this can be too much, right? Having all these extra sections. Some weeks you just don't want to do that. If you're doing planning by weekly and you're just too busy, you can just draw 8 squares. I didn't even use a ruler for this, honestly. I just connected the dots. Ooh. No, did you see that? It's because I have nail polish on. I just like scratched it. Oh well, it's fake. It's just a mock. I'm not even in school, so it's fine. But here I have tasks just the main tasks for the week, and then you have daily ones throughout here as well as your assignments. And then here I again split it up to have like a little journaling, or just have a sentence a day, a little gratitude every day. Goes a long way. That's not how the saying goes, but I'm gonna go with it. So I decided to add daily pages, which you could have in a totally separate notebook, of course. But I like daily things. I like tracking my time, but you could track maybe your nightly routines and stuff and what you do every day at night. I just blocked out the times I have a class, and then after blocking out the time for the class, I wrote down what we're doing in the class. Like today, I have a study group and I have presentations, apparently from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You know, because that's normal. And I have a different style here. And this time I used the color code key. So I have theater and what was this? Let me see if I can. History. I think it's history. Let's double check. Yeah, see? It's super. Color coding is helpful. I think it's awesome. And this is art. And I have a little journaling section here as well as a weather, including the weather degrees. I'm in the US, so I go with Fahrenheit. I should really learn Celsius though. Like, come on, Helen, get with it. So this is split up to like however much room you take. Like if you plan daily, some people take the time out of the day to plan the next day because it soothes them and relaxes them. It's their me time or whatever. And I totally can agree with that sometimes. So this, I decided to do a day a page where I didn't do a 24-hour tracking like I did these two. I just did 6 a.m. to 22 is 10, and I have a little section for gratitude. So that is the daily versions, and you just continue on however you would like. That is it for insert number 2. So the third insert, I should say, I just kept it really simple and really open and just labeled it notes. It could literally be for jotting down things throughout the day. It doesn't have to be pretty at all. It could be like what you could call it as a brain dump, or even if you have extracurricular activities, you could write down meeting notes and other notes for that as well. Also, if you want this to be the daily and then have the weekly, the monthly, and the yearly and all that, so this would be, well, this could even be for journaling too. So this could be for daily, and you'd have your weekly, and then you'd have your monthly, or anything like that. This could even be a special, like a spot to keep certain notes for maybe a class, or there's so many possibilities. So this is again made from dot grid paper, and there are links down below to print your own inserts, or I should say line paper, grid paper, dot paper. Of course, there are many websites that provide free inserts as well as ones that you can buy on Etsy as well. So here's the notes, and then we got our other two to make a total of 3. Now I wanted to show you another option for an insert, which is this. So this is like what is called a pocket planner, or like a checkbook planner or something like that. I have no idea. But this one can be found for like around $1 at Dollar Tree, Walmart, Target, wherever. They'll just sell it in this teeny tiny booklet, which is about the same size as a personal size insert traveler's notebook. So this particular one is a 2-year planner, so it has 2018 and 2019 in it. So it starts out with your personal information, all that stuff, yearly overview, holidays, and go straight into the monthly pages with little puppies. You can't go wrong with little puppies every month. So even if your school year doesn't start until like August of 2018, you could still use this beforehand and just get used to the size, get used to using a planner in general and all that stuff. So said, it goes through 2019. It has contact pages as well as notes pages. So what you could do with this is, since it has the monthlies and even information and notes pages already, you could take some of that information out of this, or just replace it completely and just use a setup like this, or combine it with this, and then this could be like more personal info, weeklies, dailies, or journal, or notes, or this could be your main planner, and then this could be like 3 different subjects or projects that you are working on that you can switch out at any time, which is the beauty of having a traveler's notebook. You can keep information in one booklet and keep that booklet, and once you're done with another insert, you can just take that away whenever you're ready. So there's this for you, the main setup of your traveler's notebook. Now, if your traveler's notebook doesn't have pockets, and I love my pockets, I decided to make my very own folder. You can buy craft folders and stuff online. Its personal size isn't as common as the standard TN, which reminds me, I actually did make this folder for a standard TN size as well, right? Right here. It's a 6. Oh no, this is 6 pocket folder, as well as a small one. And I made both of them out of a single file folder, manila file folder. So most people just have these laying around, extra ones laying around, or you could buy some for really cheap. You could even buy padded ones and make it really, really cute. I just decorated mine with washi tape, and all I did to seal it was use washi tape on the bottom. So like, this is a 6 pocket, as I said before, and you can even cut out card slots to put little pieces of paper and other ephemeras in, and the other 2 pockets are here. So I added this in. If you want to see a video on how I made this as well as this big one, just comment down below and I will get that right for you. So we'll just add this to the setup. Now, if you don't have time to make this yourself, even though it's really easy, it took me like 10 minutes, if you just don't want to make it yourself, it's totally fine. There's also these. These are sticker pocket accessories made specifically for traveler's notebooks at Michael's. These ones are sold year-round because the ones I found at Target was only during the school season, so like August, September, a little bit of July. But what's cool about these is not only they're sold year-round, but it's kind of a knockoff version of the Midori Traveler's Notebook sticker pockets, and you can just take these and pretend this is a Traveler's Notebook. You can, oh well, duh, hello, I have one right here. Remember, nicely decorated with my Mickey Mouse and my Minnie Mouse. So you just take this pocket here. It's just a little mini secretarial pocket, and you just, or corner pocket, and you just put it in the corner. You can put this one in the other corner. You can put this one at the top, wherever you want. And it comes with multiple sheets and different types of pockets. And this was a total, this entire pack was about $5 at Michael's. So that is another option for you. I actually like to combine them both to maximize the space. And alright, so that's added to your, of course, your TN as well, to your setup. Now, the next tip I would say is to make your own elastic bands that would be like the same length as your inserts. Yeah. So, because what this is going to do is going to help you add even more inserts to your traveler's notebooks as much as you want to. It's going to get a bit chunkier, of course, but it should be just fine. I've seen people use like 3 jump bags. These are called, I guess some people call them jump bags, but you use 3 elastics to even double the amount that the traveler's notebooks can hold. So that is a necessity for me, as well as this. This is a mini binder clip. I have this cute little decorative one, but you can always buy a pack of assorted sizes anywhere. Walmart, Target, all that fun stuff. What this is going to do is not only is it going to clip your pages together that you don't necessarily need to look at all the time, like all the blank pages, for your weekly, like you don't need to flip through all that, because that's just for the future weekly pages. And also you can use this to hold your pen, which I'll show you in just a moment. So first, like I said, I made this my 2 strands like this, but if your strands overlay each other like this, it's totally fine, just as doable. So I'm going to actually try to combine this and along with the 3 inserts just to show you that it can be done. So I'm going to add this. I'm not going to use the clear pockets, just because if you don't want to buy anything, then you don't have to. And you don't even need to use washi tape. You can use regular tape or whatever tape you have lying around, like clear tape. So I'll have that in the very first one, and then you know what? I changed my mind. I want this to, I want the weekly one on the first string, but it's not going to be the first insert that you see. And then I'm going to jump band. How do I do this? I set this up before. Let me think about this for a little bit. Oh yeah. No. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah. You know what? It's okay. Another cool thing about Traveler's Notebooks is that you can always switch around your inserts and all that stuff to make it fit your needs. So I'm just going to put it together for now, and if I decide to change it, I'll change it. So what you do, do you guys see that? I put this, the jump band, in the middle of the folder. I was going to call it craft folder, but it's not really craft, it's a file folder. DIY folder. Put that through the middle of the book there. See, it's now connected by the elastic band. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this that's on the first band and I'll slide it underneath and through, so that now that is in between each, and I'll make sure that they're all lined up so they're like that. So when you open it up, you got your craft folder, your weekly and monthly, and this is where you could put, actually I'm going to put this in the back, because like I said, normally I don't look at the monthly as often as the weekly. So this would be in the back, and then this could be slid right here for you. So it's just inside the craft folder itself. Now this is just an example. You could have the notes in front, or you could have the weekly in front. I like the main part that I would look at the most in the middle of the book, because when you write it, it lays flat. And most of the time the sides, like both of the sides are even to write on. So that's why that's in the middle. But of course you can change it so you have your most used insert in the very front. Of course, if I made this better, like say like this elastic, it's really thick for the size. So then the inserts don't actually go all the way in the middle. But that's just because how I made it. If it was properly made, your cover at least, then this would all fit perfectly fine. It wouldn't add too much book at all. But I'm going to add this binder clip. Let's see, I'm going to add it. No, I normally add it to the folder, but this folder has this pocket right here, and I don't want to like take away any storage space because I love pockets. So I'm just going to take the blank pages of my weekly, clamp them all together. Now what you do is you leave a little bit of gap right here so that you can hook something, the pen, onto it. See, like that? I put together upside down. Do you see the hearts? Can you see the hearts? How they're right side up like this, but when I flip it over, they're now upside down. I'm gonna redo it. I was gonna say I'm gonna leave it. No, I'm gonna redo it. Hang on. So just do a little flip through, got your pockets, another pocket, your monthly, in the front, pocket again, your weekly, your notes, and then your yearly planner. So, does that make sense? I think this is a good setup. I think this is something a setup that I would actually use if I was still in a school setting. I think it's really cool. So after setting up your planner, it's time for the essentials. So if you're starting out, I wanted to give you a few tips on what I would personally buy to get started and help my planning journey going. First thing would be page flags. But what I like about page flags and sticky notes is when you're pre-planning, like you're setting up your first initial setup for a new book or something like that, or even just a new next week, you can just take one of these page flags, or the small ones, and just put it on the page and write down what you want on that page, and so on and so forth for the next few pages. And if you decide to switch up the order, you just take up this page flag, which is super easy. These particular ones I got from Dollar Tree, so this entire thing for $1. It actually came with like 3 hole punch, but I just cut that off. And the cool thing about this, since it has a backing, you can cut it with at any point where there is a page flag and just stick it in. So you can choose whichever you want. So for example, I could cut this here or here and just take this other portion and put it in this pocket, or just keep it at my desk at home, somewhere else, anything like that. So again, these are from Dollar Tree. And of course, there's cute ones all over, everywhere. These cat ones were from Michael's. So page flags are a must. These were about maybe $2. But honestly, regular ones are just fine. It's not too expensive. I think it's totally worth it. Next one is paper clips. I love paper clips. Of course, you can get the really cute shaped ones, like I have a camera shaped one, heart shaped one, a bow tie shaped one. I mean, come on. But it's really easy to just get a pack of regular paper clips and add your own embellishments on. So I just went to Michael's. You can get them like little jewelry charms from anywhere and just literally loop it through the paper clips. So this one already had this jump ring. It's called a jump ring, right? This little ring here, a jump ring on the charm. And all I did was I slipped the jump ring through the opening of the paper clip and slide it all the way around so it's at the end. These ones are the oh my gosh, what's it called? Star zodiac signs? Sure. These ones are really cute P-pop set ones, tea times. I just turn it into small paper clips. And it's also really easy just to tie scrap pieces of ribbon or yarn into a bow and just have a little cute bow paper clip. So I'm going to add this one and maybe a few others. And I'm going to put it maybe, I'm going to put it on the first page of notes. And you can always just tip things in, slide little bits and pieces of paper in, like this says, failing to plan is planning to fail, like I mentioned earlier. I think it's just a good reminder, so I'm just going to slide that right in there. It's a nice little reminder and nice little thing to open up to. So I'll have this, and look how much cuter that looks. Even with one of these, like the dangle of like a teacup. Let's say I'm using this. I'm just gonna put this somewhere to show you. awesomeness of this. So you can still see a little bit, but it's not too much. So yeah, I would get paper clips, embellish it your own, or just buy cute colored ones. Of course, this isn't an essential per se, but I think it adds enough. It just adds a personal decorative element to your planner, in which it makes you want to open and utilize and actually look at your planner every single day. I would say get some washi tape. It's not too expensive, especially if you go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and there's like a tube of washi tape. Like this is a whole tube. Was a whole tube of washi tape on the regular rolls, and I just took it and I put it on some laminated piece of extra paper, and it'll come right off because it's washi tape. And at the tubes you can use a coupon off of it most of the time if it's a valid coupon, and it could even match your color coded planner too. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna sticker it right there if I know how to. There we go, I promise. There you go. See? It fits perfectly in there. So just one's enough for now. Or if it, oh hang on. One. Just one. What am I saying? Let me get stick the other one on this side. There we go. Not too much bulk. We're still doing okay in the bulk. It's pretty thin. So that's all. You know what? I might as well just stick this on here. Is that too thick? Still doing okay. I think so. Most likely you'll have all of these supplies already in your school supplies, and you could just use them to plan in your planner. But I got these ones. This was just super easy to carry around. It came in a pack alongside with these ones for $5 for all of these. And these are really nice because it's clear. So that's a must for me. And then this might be like a no-brainer, but have a good quality pen. Keep crappy pens to like lend out to people, because most likely you won't get it back, to be honest. Let's be honest. But if you keep a nice quality pen, it'll make your writing experience so much easier. I know, who cares about writing experience, but when you're like planning to write things down every day, it really helps, because no one wants a pencil that keeps breaking on them. No one wants a pen that keeps skipping on them and it makes everything harder to read, which is, it's not the point. It makes like such a hassle for your planner, and it just making any sense to me. So just invest in a good pair of pens. I like these ones, the Pilot G2s in the extra fine 0.5 millimeters as well as a 0.7 millimeters. This one came with a free friction erasable pen. Ooh, I know this is like really popular, especially in bullet journaling, because you get the color and the smoothness of a pen, but the effect of a colored pencil. So I just immediately took that out to get this. But these are the very popular ones. Another version I really like is the Papermate. I personally like gel pens, but you can get ballpoint or whatever you like. It's a good investment to have good pens that you enjoy using. I should take a pen out and show you what the binding clip is for. So here's a Pilot G2 pen right here, and you just go to the binder clip. You see this little clip right here, the hook, and the little overhang here. Just slide that right on through. Look at that, it's staying. It's staying. It's like such like no-brainer hack or a trick that you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that before? So whenever you like take off the elastic, you'll always have a pen around. It's not flying everywhere without the elastic, and it's just a good tip to me. Plus it adds a little something. Having different textures in your planner always helps to look at it. So continuing on with the essentials, I will definitely have, depending on what you want to put in your planner, I would use a glue stick or tape. I like glue sticks because I think it lasts longer. If you want to put like maybe photographs or little notes from friends or whatever in your planner, to make it look more like a memory keeping kind of way, then you could definitely use a glue stick. Again, this is more optional, but for me it's an essential because I like to do that in my planner. Next essential is an eraser. Even if you're using pen, if you're using pen, you should use some whiteout. I like this one because you can write back on it almost immediately. It's a big whiteout, easy, correct whiteout tape. I got this one in a pack of 4, fairly cheap, but it works really well. I should stop using the word cheap, inexpensive. But I do, again, like to pre-plan. It's really good to pre-plan, especially if you're bullet journaling, to do it in pencil first. If you're doing designs, if you want to see if everything fits on the page, get an eraser, a nice one. I like this one. A kneaded eraser is good too. So that's all the essentials. Oh, hang on, almost all. I gave you guys a tip to do color coding. Now, color coding means you need multiple colors of pens, but that can be super expensive. So these are fine liner, fine tip pens, fine liner felt tip pens by Pen Gear. It's linked down below, but these are super fine, so it's very helpful for smaller planners like the personal size. And there's a pack of 20 for $4. A pack of 20 for $4. Now, I only use this and Crayola super tips to plan in this planner. Those Crayola super tips, you can get them in a pack of 20 or a pack of 50, and even depending where you get it at Michael's, you can get it with a coupon. And these are really great for highlighting stuff, and if you want a broader tip to fill up more space. So pairing a broad tip and a fine tip will really change your planning, decorative, and color coding experience. So this is a Crayola super tip, and this is all the Pen Gear. Now, on this particular paper, it did bleed through a little bit, but that's just, like, I knew this was, like, a very cheap quality printer paper. Like, it's just what I had lying around, and it still works. I don't mind the bleed through that much, but I know some people just cannot stand bleed through, which I understand that completely, because it can get in the way sometimes. But again, you can find really cheap alternatives they're quite good in my opinion. I mean, I use them all the time, especially the super tips, and I think for $4 for 20 colors is such a good deal. So that is what I use to help color code, and I really recommend color coding in your school planner. So that is the essentials for planning and starting out with your planner and all that jazz. Next, I want to show you things that you could pair with your planning system to help you be more productive throughout the year. So first I have these. So these are more like paper pads that you could use too. Now these ones are all from Target Dollar Spot, excluding this one is from Dollar Tree. But these ones are already set up for you. This one has Monday, the weekly version. This has today, tomorrow, next week. This has daily tasks, so for a daily page. And this is just a simple list. So for something like this, and you want to plan next week, you just take one off, fold it in half, paperclip it in into your planner for next week, and just write everything down really quick. You don't have to think about writing the correct information onto your monthly or weekly sometimes. If you don't want to, like, you won't have time or something like that. We've all been there. We've all had it that time. Or if you want to plan something else out that you want it to be separate from your planner, but you like it on the go with you inside your planner, then you can just have this and just throw it away, or better yet, recycle it when you are done. So these are really cute. They're fairly cheap. I think depending on the size or design or how many pages there are, it can range from $1 to $5 in the Target Dollar Spot. Like, this was definitely $1, and I really like it. But this is probably like $3 or $5. Just up to you what you want to do with that. Perhaps this turns out to be too small for you to store everything you need to organize and manage in your school life, then you can still use this on the go to have like the major key appointments and tasks while you're out and about, and just have something bigger to store other things at your desk at home or your dorm or wherever you are. These ones I got, well, this one's from Walmart. This one's from Recollections. This is the Recollections Spiral Planner in the goals. So it's undated too, so you can jump into it at any time. But it starts out with goals of the month. How to set up your goal, and then your vision board, more goal planning pages, staying motivated, notes and thoughts. And this is the start of the month of your motivation routine, which is really cool. Amy bought this for herself. I'm excited to see how she uses it. So what I like about this for planning your school, or for school planning, is that you could specifically use this for your study plan. Like, this is specifically for studying and other projects like that. So it could be your top 3 goals or your top tasks here, and this is what you studied or what you did and all that stuff. Since you don't need too much room for it, this little space should be enough for each day. And you have, I think, about 16 or 18 months in here, so this will last you for over a year if you keep up with it. And again, since it's undated, you could always jump back out of it if you don't feel like it's necessary, and then jump back in when it gets busy again. At the back you have a goal tracker page, which is really cool. Notes and thoughts, and just starts all over. At the very back, which is cool, is that you could date it with the stickers that it comes with. I like stickers, and it already comes with it, so you don't have to pay anything extra. And all the color schemes match, so you don't have to think about it. It comes with a pocket, and a clear plastic pouch. It's never been opened before, so it's a little stiff. So it comes with all the storage space, all this surface area to write your plans in, and pairing it with this could be the system for you. Another option is to have like this guy that I showed you earlier from Walmart, a Creative View. This also has a pocket, but this is also undated. You can write birthdays here, and your monthly, your notes. What I liked about this is that it has categories pre-printed for you. So you might, depending on what you are, what you're doing, if you have a job, you can do your budgets, your goals, financial, health, personal work, your personal budget, important deadlines, and all that stuff. And this is for a monthly basis, and this is where you start your weekly, which also has categories for you to fill out, like things to buy, to message, to call, for your food, which is really important to keep track of what you're taking in. Because I feel like when you're in school, you just kind of just eat and snack while you're sitting around at your desk, because eating actually helps you focus for some strange reason. And to clean. And of course, if you don't use things like to call, if you don't use to call, you can always just cover it up with something else. With a simple page flag. And it's just like that, undated. It does have the months on the tabs, but I think otherwise it's undated, which is nice. I don't think, yeah, that's the end of that. And here is the last planner. I think it would be awesome. It actually came out for the first time for 2018. This is a happy planner. This is sold only online, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby. Normally they have plastic disc, but this is a metal disc, which you can tell is a ring bound system, which also means you can take out any of the pages as well as the cover whenever you would like, and rearrange it however you like, or just only have a couple of months at a time, and then having the rest of the pages be blank for note taking and all that stuff. So it has your years. Again, this is dated, but you could always, I'm sure you could find a way to make it work for you. So either cover up the dates or just start using it before your school year of 2018. team. So this is another goal setting. I mean, obviously, you can tell by the cover, hustle hard girl. This is the goal getter. The habit planner, goal getter for the habit planner girl. Yes, there we go. You got your maps to success again, and then your monthly action steps. I'm on track the next month's goals. What I like about this, and why I picked it up, is it has an hourly format. So it has your top 3 priorities or to-dos or tasks for the day, and then your top 3 for the week at the side. You have a little note section, and here you have an hourly format from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is a normal school day would be well within that time range for the most part, unless you start earlier, like at 6 a.m., which I would be surprised, but not surprised at the same time. But every week is like this. You can even add like another one. So for example, if you want just to have a bigger bullet journal, this one is also from my Goals Arts and Crafts store, and it's for $5. For $5, it's about the same size or even bigger than some like the bigger and well-known Moleskine ones and stuff. This is the notebook I use, as well as Kim. We just use it in different colors. They also have the gridded version, just a plain grid, not dot grid. But I think this is a super great alternative to other bullet journals, and if you just want to add a bigger bullet journal, and this could also be paired with this as well. So I hope that this all makes sense. Comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. So I hope you liked my traveler's notebook setup for school. If I were to go to school, while combining parts of the commenter's request into it, and I hope it helped her or he set up your traveler's notebook / planner for your rewarding school experience. I had a lot of fun making this video, and comment down below if you have other requests or just more tips in general to share with everyone. I would love to hear some of your ideas as well. Anyway, like and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's cool too, but I would really like it if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.